This is the plaintiff, Victor Ataco. He says he hired the defendant to replace an awning that fell off his house in a storm, and the guy replaced it with a smaller one when he paid for the same size one. The defendant's a fraudster who ripped him off. He's terribly upset and suing the louse for $5,000, the cost of the job, and for perpetrating a fraud. This is the defendant, Arthur Shivak. He says he made a custom awning the exact same size as the plaintiff's previous damaged one. The measurements were a precise 94 inches left to right and 42 inches front to back. He immediately measured the plaintiff's old awning. It was exactly the same as the new one, and he even proved it to the plaintiff. Just like there are good and bad contractors, there are good and bad customers, and the plaintiff's one of them. He's accused of not getting the size right.
All parties, please raise your right hand.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket. The plaintiff hired the defendant to replace an awning. Says the guy screwed it up by making a smaller one. But the defendant says he measured it perfectly. It's the case of Shock and Awning.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome,
Victor Ataco,
Yes,
you
ma'am.
are suing Multicraft Home Remodeling, represented here by Arthur Shivak.
Shivak, yes.
Okay, for $5,000, the cost of the job plus extra for fraud, because according to you, he cheated you.
Yeah.
Tell me what happened.
Your Honor, I was having some problems with my awning. And on this day, there was a big storm. So my awning fell down because the poles holding the awning fell off. So I looked into the yellow pages to get somebody to come and do the job. I called this company and Mr.
You hired him to replace the awning?
Yes.
And what were your, do you have a written contract between the two of you?
Yes, ma'am.
May I see it?
Mm-hmm.
Same material as old awning and trim, okay? So do you have a picture of your old awning?
The picture of my old awning is not there, but I have the picture of the awning which he replaced.
Well, what is your complaint about
My complaint is that the awning he gave me is not the full-size awning. It does not cover my porch. My former awning covered the whole porch. My build.
Well, what was the size of your other awning?
The size, I think, is 93 inch by 58 inch or so.
Okay,
So
but you don't have a picture of it for me to see.
Unfortunately, I don't have the picture of my former awning.
Right. So do you have the receipt for your last awning so I can see the dimensions on the receipt?
Your Honor, my awning was already, when I purchased
When you
this
bought the house, it was already on there. Okay.
Yes, when I put-
So according to you, it's many inches short.
Sure.
Okay, the awning that's there now is how many inches?
42 inches projection, front to back is 42 inches.
So your complaint is 12 inches, right?
Short.
Right, 12 inches short,
Right.
not half short, 12 inches short.
Right.
So now your complaint is that it's not long enough, and you've shown me pictures showing it's not as long as your neighbor's. Okay, and your defense to this, did he ever bring it up to you that there was a problem, that it's not as long enough, you mismeasured? What did he complain?
Yes, he did. He complained upon installation that his awning was 65 inches, his original awning. Your Honor, his awning was exactly 42 inches, was always 42 inches. We made it 42 inches and installed 42 inches. It was never, ever 65, 56, or any other measurement.
The contract doesn't say the measurements, right?
It doesn't.
No,
That
it-
would be helpful if you should have your guys writing it out in the contract.
Yeah, well, it
One
was
less
to-
issue to dispute. But so how are you going to disprove what he's saying? 'Cause
I have pictures of his old awning. We took it down. We replaced it with a new one. He called my office after it was installed and said, my awning was bigger than this. I said, bigger? How much bigger? What are you talking about? Because, of course, it was upsetting me. We made it the wrong size. I'm going to have to replace his awning. No questions asked. Let me get to the bottom of this. I will have my installers come here and I will measure your old awning. I still have your old awning. If it's the wrong size, carte blanche, we will put a new one up.
So did you measure did you still have his awning?
Yes, I did.
Okay, do you have pictures of the measurement or video or anything?
Of that particular day, no, I don't. But I called him immediately, and I said, Mr. Taco, you're honestly mistaken. The awning is 42 inches. It's not 65. Your old awning is 42 by 94. That's the exact size. I said, I'm doing this a long time. I know how to read a ruler. I just measured it. That we ended the conversation. The next morning he calls and he says, listen, there's something wrong here. My awning was
Okay,
never
so
that
did you
size.
go back to the dump and pick up the awning?
Yes.
What'd you do? How'd you do this?
I called my guys. I said, go back to the dump. I says, regardless of the condition of this awning, I don't care if it's folded, crushed, or in pieces. I want that awning back.
Oh, my goodness.
I went up to the Bronx to get it. I put it in the back of my Tahoe. Scratched up my Tahoe.
Do you have pictures of
doing
that?
it. Yes, I do.
May I see it?
Pictures 1 and 2 show my truck in front of his house with the awning crushed in it.
Mm-hmm.
Pictures 3, I'm unfolding the awning. Pictures 4, I reassembled the awning. You can see specifically, I'd like to call your attention to the side of the awning. There are 6 scallops on the sides of that awning. That's a very critical measurement, which you'll be able to see on the new awning. Pictures 5, 6, and 7 show the old awning with a ruler, my ruler, right next to it. The pictures are a little hard to see the exact size of the ruler until you get to picture 7, which is an extreme close-up.
That's all right.
But the
I
awning
like to
is
see it all
42
together.
inches.
And it looks like it's 42 inches. What's your answer to
Exactly
this? Please stop.
42
What's your answer to this?
Okay, so the defendant measured the old awning, and that was it. Did he do his job? Is the homeowner out of luck here?
If the old awning fit.
It did fit.
Well, then it should be the same thing. There should be no problem.
What do you say?
I agree. I think it should be the same thing.
What do you say, sir?
Guilty.
Wait a minute, guilty? Guilty what? What does that mean?
No, the guy should have measured the actual
House? Really?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I thought if the awning fits, you must have quit going inside the courtroom.
Your Honor.
Not my dog, like Inspector Clouseau. This is not your awning?
I have lived in my place for 12
Okay, you could
years.
say that over and over. What's your answer to this? Is this your awning?
But the awning he brought there is not my awning.
Not your awning. I knew it. All right. Now, do you have, my understanding is that you have another photo from Google Earth of his awning?
Yes, I do.
Would you hand it to my bailiff, please? Does it show the size of the awning vis-a-vis the neighbors?
Yes, it does.
Yeah, it looks like it does.
clearly shows his
The
awning.
number of scallops, that's what you were referring to when you said
Yes.
earlier the number of scallops?
His
See-
has 6,
And the neighbors has 9.
9. His awning is 42, the neighbor's is 56. I
And this
measured
is a
them both.
picture taken from July 2015. Let me tell you something, Mr. Ataco. I don't doubt for one second that you believe very strongly what you are saying.
Mm-hmm.
But that is a picture taken back in 2015. And it shows that your awning was always smaller than your neighbor's.
No, not at all.
And that your awning had the 6 full scallops and 2 halves.
I have lived in my house for 12 years.
Okay, is that the best
Please.
evidence you got? I have lived in my house for 12 years?
I know the size of my awning.
What is that?
This is the new awning installed. If you compare it to the Google Earth photo, you'll see it's exactly the same size awning, the same amount of scallops.
Yeah.
That's the new awning
We're
versus
done.
the old
We're
one on
done.
the line.
When you come into court, you have the burden of proving that things are as you say they are. Other than you believing it very hard, the evidence is completely contrary to you. Verdict for the defendant.
Well, the plaintiff fails to prove his case here in court. What do you have to say?
Unfortunately, I did not have the picture of my former awning. My former awning was the same size of my porch.
He had a picture.
No, the picture he had does not show everything. You got to take the picture from the side of the house. Take the side view and see how the awning cover the whole porch. There is no porch that has half of the awning of the porch. Every awning covers the porch. I know I have lived my house for 12 years. So unfortunately, if I knew this would happen, I did not have the picture of my former awning. It just happened. My awning fell down.
You know, unfortunately, I mean, this is a mess for you. I'm sorry, but
it
you
is.
needed a picture. You needed a picture, and you didn't have it.
Do you have a picture of my house? I have lived there for 12. I know the side of my awning.
I'm so sorry
Unfortunately,
for you.
it's okay. It's all right. I take it.
Okay.
All right.
You tried. You tried. Thank you.
The job is just very unfortunate. All right.
Wow. He's really upset, you know? I'm sorry. He's upset.
Okay, I see he's upset.
Yeah.
I did my best to try and show him that his old awning was exactly the size I made it. We picked it up from the dump, showed it to him on the ground. We don't save these old awnings.
I
What are you
know.
going to do with them? Am I going to warehouse them? He's totally irrational. I don't understand it.
Well, congratulations. You went overboard.
I did.
Google pictures, everything.
I
All right?
want happy people. It's just,
Okay.
it's too bad.
One of those days. All right. Thank you very much, sir. Harvey?
Okay, Doug, look, the defendant won the case, but this is really important. Any businessman, especially if he's doing a contracting job or something like that, they should not only measure, but they should put the measurements in the contract so the customer signs off. In a case like that, it is a slam dunk for the contractor.